We talking about sports, get ball.
What it do, baby? Yeah.
Welcome back, you number one podcast listeners. Welcome into a brand new episode of the number one podcast in your headphones, Creme Brulee.
I think you can actually say number one podcast in your headphones now. Here I am to make it number one, right?
Nice. As you can tell by the voice, the favorite co-host is back. My wife, Steph, has joined us for this very special edition. So thanks for joining, babe.
Thanks for having me back.
Of course. You're always a big hit, so I'm sure this will be no different here. So you number one podcast listeners, again, you joined Creme Brulee. This is a brand new edition, but before we get started, a word from our sponsor. This episode of Creme Brulee is sponsored by Sleep Battle, a content creator, photographer, and artist based in Asbury Park, New Jersey. From cinematic stills, unique and classic wedding and elopement photos, even product or commercial photography like you see for the Creme Brulee brand. Sleep Battle is a full-service studio, and stay tuned for their film, Please Laugh, coming soon. So visit their Instagram at Sleep Battle, SLEEPATTLE, and give at Please Laugh Film a follow while you're at it too. Number one artist in the game for the number one podcast in your headphones. You love to see it. Also, my guy Thomas and his fiance Julie, they got a good stranglehold of our basement artwork now. They got a good half of what's up in our basement. Yeah. So big
Thanks for
fan of
decorating our house.
Yeah, exactly. All right, number one podcast listeners. Without further ado, let's get started on this very special edition, our second special couples edition. Before we even get started, should we drop our exciting news, babe?
Let's do it.
Okay. You wanna say what's going on?
Sure. So about 2 years ago, you welcomed me onto this podcast.
Yeah.
So that we could share wonderful news that we were going to be starting the journey of parenthood. And 2 years later, here we are, about to embark on that adventure for baby number 2.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
We got baby number 2 on the
baby?
way.
Yeah.
Baby bot 2 is on the way, due in late January, early February of 2024. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's great news. We wanted to do this again because the first one was received so well. Yeah. It felt like a safe spot for us to share our story and people could relate to it. And we heard such great things, so we wanted to do it again. But did want to add a little disclaimer. You know, now that we got to share that wonderful news with you number one podcast listeners, Steph and I also wanted to take this time to acknowledge some more difficult journeys. Unfortunately, as you all know from the first edition, we can relate because before our son Barrett was born, we went through our struggles before having the beautiful son of ours. So we wanted to both encourage you all out there to reach out, talk to someone, or if you just need to listen and relate to someone, find our previous episode to hear our story in more depth. We'll cover a little bit of it, but I added that in the episode description so you can go back and listen to that. Hear our journey. You know, sometimes it's easier to just listen than have a conversation back and forth because it can kind of bring up painful things. We can unfortunately relate to that. Mm-hmm. So if that's the route you should so choose to do, we hope our previous episode is of help to you. We hope this one also is. Hopefully it's nice, positive light, something you can look forward to as well. So just bottom line is there's so many people out there and more than you even think. So please reach out to someone, listen to someone, maybe just have someone close to you just listen to you, not have a solution for you. Find something that works. You agree?
100%.
Yes, we're unified on that. So, yeah, before we get started on these sections, we wanted to drop that disclaimer with our wonderful news. Yeah. Okay, so babe, as you remember, our first section is Yeah, Fam or Nah. So I got a few categories for you, and you tell me, yeah, fam, if it's appropriate. If not, just elaborate a little bit.
Okay, sounds good.
So with our good news, because of our history before, our goal was always to foster conversation and emphasize our availability to other people looking to become parents. So I did want to quickly recap. I didn't want to spend too much time on it because there's a full episode of it, like I said. But before Barrett, our son, arrived, that was in January of 2022 when he was born. Before that, we did have quite a few unsuccessful months with 2 chemical pregnancies, 1 D&C, So I did want to, before we get to the full-on topics, cover these in yeah, fam or not. Not really yeah, fam or not to any of these, but just important to talk about. So from talking with others, and a great part of if there is a yeah, fam to any of this, great part about our generation is that people are talking more about it. So I think that's a really positive thing that comes from such a terrible situation. So unfortunately, miscarriage is common, and the statistics confirm that. This is via March of Dimes. Miscarriage is when a baby dies in the womb before 20 weeks of pregnancy. Some women have miscarriage before they even know they're pregnant. For those women who do know they're pregnant, about 10 to 15 in 100 out of every 100 pregnancies, so 10 to 15% of them end in miscarriage. Most miscarriages happen in the first trimester before the 12th week of pregnancy. Miscarriage in the second trimester between weeks 13 and 19 happens in 1 to 5 out of 100. So between the first two trimesters, you have anywhere from 10 to 20% of mothers have miscarriages. So there's a very high likelihood someone who's had one, whether they've just shared it or not. As many as half of all pregnancies may end in miscarriage. That number's not known exactly because, like we said before, a miscarriage may happen before a woman even knows she's pregnant. Given all that, we had roller coaster of emotion before Barrett. Good news, bad news. We were fortunate to have a support system to talk to and lean on, so we know how valuable it is. So again, just another plug to talk to someone, whether it's a professional, someone whatever works best for you, or just listen.
I think it's helpful to broaden your perspective. I mean, maybe you might not realize how common it is, like you said, or know that you know someone that's been through it. I think a lot of emotion was brought back up for us when all of the, not to get political, but when all of the miscarriage laws and stuff were changing and happening, abortion laws and things were happening. That hit home for us because technically my D&C that we went through would have been considered under the laws of Ohio an abortion because I had a choice of whether or not to wait for my body to naturally go through that miscarriage, even though we knew it wasn't a viable pregnancy. Or, be able to have a medical procedure done to help allow us to move forward and continue our journey. So I think it's really wonderful that our generation, like you're saying, is more willing to be open and honest and have these conversations, because I just think you might not have that perspective and realize that there's so many different ways that it can affect people. Yeah.
A parent or parents to be.
Right.
Miscarriage is so common. Our goal is for those people that don't know how common it is to know that they're not alone. So if you are out there and found our episode, please know that you're not alone. We are a mom and dad who've gone through it before. I can tell you firsthand, we've talked to friends of ours that have had it. So you are not alone. So if you are someone out there who hasn't talked to anyone, please know that there are people out there that can unfortunately relate. You don't ever want that for someone, but we found that it did help to be able to talk that out. Another important caveat: if our new news doesn't find you well, we completely get it. None of this stuff is easy. The first time around, we wrestled with this feeling of being so excited for other people who are expecting, while still being angry that, why can't that be us? But just know that there are people out there for you who get it. So please reach out. Know that you're not alone. Please, if this doesn't find you well, go ahead, turn it off. Maybe at one point it will, and it's easier to hear. So whatever works best for you and your mentals. Okay. On a lighter note, given all that information and those very important considerations we want to make people out there, I did want to have some fun and ask some questions to one another as we approach switching from our 2-on-1 defense to a man-to-man defense with what'll be our second kid. So, babe, yeah, fam or nah, it felt like a bigger deal going from no kids to one kid versus what we're doing now, going from one kid to two kids.
In this very moment, I will say... fam. Going from 0 to 1 felt very overwhelming. It doesn't feel as overwhelming right now. But check in February and see
True.
how the practicality of living it, and
Yes.
if we feel the same way.
Good point.
So, congratulations.
Yeah, because I
You
put
played
yeah,
yourself.
fam, but I'm like, being the superstitious person I am, yeah, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth, so to
Right.
speak. So we'll see how second kid is. But I think you and I have both been more relaxed with this one. More like, oh, we should probably get going on thinking about this instead of having things done already at this point before Barrett arrived. Everything seems like the biggest deal before your first kid, and rightfully so. You've never done it before, but you learn a lot, obviously, from going through it. So it does feel a little bit,
Less daunting.
knock on wood. Yes, yeah, less daunting. That's a perfect way to put it. Okay, yeah, we're on the same page there. Another topic I got for you. What's something you were worried about with first kid that you realized you didn't need to worry about?
I'm gonna make like a general statement. I feel like with Barrett being our first kid, I relied so heavily on, books and blogs and, any information I could get. And I tried to follow it to the T.
Yeah.
So
Very teacher-like of you. Her type
yeah,
A.
It's just, it's my personality.
Yeah.
I can't help it. But I so heavily focused on like schedules, routines, and like keeping things very predictable for Barrett, which pays off 100%.
It paid off big
It
time,
helps. But I also think looking back, I'm realizing that I could have been probably a little bit more flexible in our day to day and allowed, a few days here and there to go unroutined or unscheduled.
That seems like a trap, so I'm going to
we'll
comment that.
It's a trap.
But I feel like with the second child, we might be forced into being more flexible because we also have Barrett's routine, Barrett's life to still uphold. But so we'll see. We'll see if I can live up to that. But that's where my head is at right now.
I thought of a fun one. We always bring this up to our friends, like before they're heading into the actual birth of their kids. We spent so much time asking each nurse while we were at the hospital how to swaddle Barrett in a blanket, only to realize the ones we had at home were much easier and were like Velcro. You buy ones that are fancier and do the swaddling for you. And we spent so much time asking each nurse how to swaddle like in a blanket. And they made it look so easy, and each one of them did it a little different, which was annoying.
Yes.
And they did it so quick. But it was like, I couldn't believe that. And
so
then
much frustration.
you wisely put in one of our easier ones in our hospital bag, but then we sent that one home with mom, your mom, for Teddy to smell out the new baby. We sent home the easy one with her. I don't know why we did that either. It was probably me thinking, being cocky and thinking like, oh no, I'm getting this blanket swaddle, so I didn't even want the safety blanket. I did not mean that as a pun, but I didn't want the easy one there.
We never used a blanket swaddle.
No, haven't used one since his first few days of living in the hospital. And I think every single time we had to have the nurse fix it. I got close maybe one or two times, but
he always broke out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna flex and bust out of here.
Broke out. Okay. Next one. What has surprised you most about parenthood?
Ooh. This is gonna sound silly, but all the cliches you've ever heard in your life regarding parenthood are true. Cliches are cliche for a reason.
Yeah.
They really have. They've really, it is the hardest job and the most rewarding job you'll ever have, which you probably have been told a bazillion times you're expecting. It is true.
Yeah.
There is so much joy in all the small moments.
Another one of my favorites is what is it? The days are long, but the years are fast.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. They're all true.
It's so freaking corny, but it's true.
Yeah. So, yes. So if you're expecting and you are about to embark on this journey, hear the cliches, hear the words, because you will look back in a few months and go, oh, okay.
Or at least
I understand.
At least don't poo-poo them and play yourself, because then
Yeah.
you're gonna start saying them or posting them on your Instagram story.
Daddy alert.
Yeah.
Daddy alert.
I'd say what surprised me most, I would say that seeing our son's personality has really helped me cope with how fast life has been moving. Like, that's kind of like a boo-hooey thing with seeing how quickly your kid develops.
Yeah.
But I was surprised at how okay with it I am, and it's because of getting to see his personality shine through.
Yeah. Getting to know him.
Yeah, and then
It's crazy.
I think you'll probably agree with this one big time. You know, you married a socialite, but as a social person, I'm surprised I don't have FOMO. You know,
Yeah.
I always love my time at home. You and I always had to come to an agreement. You liked your time at you always liked your time at home,
Yeah.
and the trade-off was I wouldn't pester you to come out if you didn't prevent me from going out if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But you know, I loved my time at home always, don't get me wrong, but I also loved making appearances, you know,
Being social.
yeah, being social, seeing different groups of friends. But the FOMO now is like me feeling like I'll miss things at home.
Right.
And it's almost like you and I have had to like encourage each other to not only live for everything at home, because it's not necessarily healthy in the long run.
Your identity.
Yeah, having your own identity. So I will say that's been surprising internally as I, you know, self-reflect is like, oh, I'm really surprised that I don't have this major FOMO when I miss social appearances anymore.
It's because life's moving so fast.
Yeah, I think so.
Part of it. Yeah.
I just all the moments happen so fast and furious when they're young.
Yeah.
The milestones are like, I mean, if you're not there for a day, you can miss something. Yeah. So, I mean, right now Barrett's learning new words and phrases every day. So even having to go into the office sucks.
True.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like those two. That's a good combo.
I was also thinking, because you kind of got a little bit more deep there. My original one was more silly, but also on a little bit more like of a deeper level about what surprises you most about parenthood is I can feel like the mental load that comes along with parenthood, and maybe even more specifically motherhood, like the hormones and I don't know. It's crazy. You feel like I am the same person as I was before Barrett, but I'm not. Like something changes in you. And it's wild, and it's crazy because I always was a super organized, task-oriented person. I always have been. I mean, you know that about me.
Yeah.
So I never really thought about the tasks associated with parenthood ever being more taxing than just any other task I have in front of me. But it definitely is. The mental load of motherhood is wild, and it's just like your mind never shuts off. Like you're always thinking 10 steps ahead. So that's a surprising
especially
part of it.
moms out there. I would say you and I just had a conversation about like mom guilt being, you know, I mentioned feeling guilty when I miss something, but like I would say, not to generalize, but I can only speak to our situation. You feel that more big time when you have like an obligation and you miss something. Knowing full well he's safe and all that, we have a great support system, but still it's just like not wanting to miss out and feeling guilty when you do have to. To circle back to your point, the mental load, this is all to say, parents out there, parents to be, people thinking about parents, give yourself some grace. You know, like the chores around the house, it's okay that, you know, I know you have a to-do list and you're used to getting them done. You're going to have days where it doesn't feel like you did anything, but you did. You're caring for a new human that needs you for everything. So give yourself grace. This chores can wait, all that stuff. So that's a big piece. That wasn't the question to give advice, but I will say those of you out there that are heading into parenthood or maybe just need to hear it after a while, and you haven't heard it in a while, like it's okay. It's okay to order takeout tonight, or you know, save the laundry for another day, or gosh, amazing gift. We got this idea from your cousin who gifted us this, getting your house cleaned professionally. I mean,
life-changing.
Amazing. I can't recommend it enough. Those of you out there, if you have the means, or if you're looking for a gift for a friend or a family member, it is so underrated. They won't even know to even ask for it, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And it takes care of a lot of peace of mind for you,
Right.
especially that craziness of the first few months. So
Yeah.
just consider it out there if you have the means to do it. A lot of places offer like
Great
the
gifts.
first session is cheaper or something, but it's a great gift. If you just want like diapers and stuff, maybe throw that on there, like a little save part of your diaper fund if you had one in your baby shower registry for a little nice deep clean into the house.
Yeah.
It's nice. So anyway, okay, back to the questions. Your biggest fear adding a second kid?
Oh, geez, biggest fear.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because it's where my mind is right now, but I would say making sure that Barrett is still thriving and growing as much as he is now. I mean, we've talked about how we're so proud of him on a daily basis. Like, he's constantly learning and growing and trying new things. And so I just want to make sure that we continue to help him make those great strides while balancing a second. So I think that's part of it. And I think as any step in life, making sure that you and I continue to make time for each other too. I mean, it's so important as a couple to remember you are a couple. It's so easy to fall into the partnership or the roommate-ishness of parenthood, you know, like managing the space together. So so I think those are probably two things that I would be conscious of as we move into this next chapter of our lives together.
For sure.
Yeah.
I would say for me, mine's a little lighthearted. We traded off ones where,
There you go.
Barrett's been a good eater and a good sleeper. I am worried about the law of averages. And this second kid, I feel like
Are you crossing all your fingers right now and knocking on wood? Like, come on here.
This second kid, I think we're due for some late nights and picky eating. Your pregnancy is any indication.
Don't say that.
If your pregnancy is any indication, I think we're trending that way because you
Can
have
all your listeners send us the positive juju?
Yeah, send the good vibes out there. But you know, we'll handle it either way. It's just I would say
I feel you.
that's a big fear of mine because it does change things, and then we also have to chase around a toddler after that. It's not the same as when you just have one kid and you can take turns napping or get some relief and so anyway,
we'll see what the future holds.
No kidding. Oh, this is a nice segue. These are questions mostly for you since you're doing the work here. Let's be real. You dads out there, if you ever play yourself and think you're doing something special,
It's the pretty boys versus the petty boys.
yes, you're helping support, but you already know the mom of your child is carrying the team, or partners out there, not just dads. Dads, partners, all that stuff. The one carrying is carrying the team.
Look, I stay petty so I don't have to get petty.
Be there to support and help as needed.
Yep.
Don't grumble with any requests. They're doing a lot, okay? All right, Steph.
Yes.
How does this pregnancy differ than the first?
Well, you're chasing after a toddler.
No kidding. Yeah.
Oddly enough, these pregnancies are happening around the same time of the year. So I was also pregnant my first trimester during summertime with Barrett.
Yes.
So with him, with the first, it was just us. So like I took naps every afternoon.
Yeah. And number one podcast listeners out there, Steph is a teacher.
Oh, right.
So
summer's off.
Well, she used to teach summer school. That stopped.
Yes.
That was actually your last summer school teaching was when you were pregnant with Barrett.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you threw in the towel for.
Yeah.
So rightfully so. You had paid your dues and done it multiple years. But anyway.
But so I think that I was able to listen to my body more and immediately take hold of or take action for what it needed.
Yeah.
Whereas this time around, Barrett's first. So
yes.
I'm taking care of all of his needs first and then kind of quickly fitting in, how I'm feeling. So definitely been a little bit tougher of a pregnancy this time around. Still so super, super thankful that I haven't had to deal with like morning sickness or actual like
Yeah.
throwing up or anything like that. But this time around, definitely more nausea, more headaches, more tiredness, just in general. And the weirdest thing about this one, which but is I just have no appetite. Like food in general is just like, it's a chore. It's an absolute chore, which if you've ever been pregnant before, you have to eat. If you don't eat, you feel like
shit.
I can say shit. Yeah. You feel like shit. So that's been an interesting battle. It's almost like a mental battle.
You have to force yourself.
I have to force myself to eat. I spend a lot of time staring at the fridge and pantry.
Yeah, nothing's been sounding good to her.
No.
If you know Steph, she loves her dessert. That's her guilty pleasure. She's a very healthy eater, but dessert hasn't sounded good. So
awful.
that's
so sad.
Great. And
so sad.
yeah, it is. The eatings and cravings have definitely been noticeable for me. You've been powering through, and we've had little tiffs about me asking you to share some more, full disclosure, because you do power through, straight mom energy, but I have some, like, a little bit of flexibility. Obviously I'm on the clock here and there, but if she's really not feeling well, I can pick up the slack, take a long lunch or something like that.
So thankful for.
Yeah, and then I have a few days I'm in the office where I'm zero help. There are times where she really has to power through. So very thankful for that, but also as a partner, you don't always want your partner who's carrying the child and doing all that work to do even more. So that's been on my own, like, way less important level. That is the tough part from observing, for sure.
We'll get through.
Yeah,
All's good.
it will be good.
Yeah,
It is good.
it is good.
Okay, what are you looking forward to most with the second child?
I can't wait, just because we both have siblings, so
Yes.
it's cool seeing what you and Vish have in common, physically, personality, all that kind of stuff. Same with me and my siblings. So I'm just super excited to see, how does this baby look compared to Barrett? How are they, whether their personalities are going to be similar or different. So yeah, I'm just excited to see kind of the comparison between the two.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And of course for Barrett to be a big brother and see how he handles that relationship. He's so loving and sweet. So I just am excited for that too.
He likes his cuddles and gives, out of the blue, I love yous at this point, and little hugs. So,
he goes, mwah, and that's his kiss.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually kiss. He just makes the noise.
He makes the noise. So he can say that there's a baby, but I don't think he really knows.
What are you looking forward to the most is for the second?
I agree with that. Seeing how the two siblings interact, how their personalities are alike and different. You have three brothers, and you guys all have your unique things. There's some similarities, but I would say you're each pretty unique. I'm a lot like my brother, so I'm very proud of that, obviously. As you number one podcast listeners know, we get along pretty well. You've heard him on your number one podcast listening headphones, but I'm very proud to be like him. So I'm interested to see what Barrett and his younger sibling, how they're similar and different. And then I'm excited to see what the baby looks like. Barrett is starting to look more and more like you, I think.
Good mix of us.
He is a good mix. So the plan is hopefully for the next baby to do the same. That's the dream for me. How are you feeling heading into having another kid? How does it compare to 2 years ago? You kind of cover this, but maybe just like the mental standpoint. You cover the physical, but how are you feeling heading into it?
We kind of hinted at the very beginning. I would say less nervous, less anxieties. You've done it before, so there's less question. And you also know that you can kind of think on your feet a little bit quicker, with having that experience in your back pocket, even with the being different, because we know there'll be different experiences. But And, you know, we made it through that crazy newborn phase once, so
Yeah.
I think we'll survive it again.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have another choice. You just kind of come up for air, and you're like, oh, we just did that.
We did it, yeah.
A month or two later. So, no other choice. We'll see how it goes having a toddler. Also, there was a lot of
Might
like,
throw a wrench in things.
yeah, we'll have to have some sort of system. I'll be trying to pick up the slack with Barrett, obviously, because you'll be caring for the child. There's only so much I can do. We are planning to do breastfeeding with baby too, like we did with Barrett. So obviously another area where mom's carrying the team there. So this time around, I know at least I'll be able to
Majorly
be
assist.
less useless. Like you didn't make me feel that way, but you know, you partners out there that aren't the one doing the feeding. If the mom out there is doing breastfeeding, there's no way around it. You know, you pick up the slack by changing diapers, all that, but the work is being done by the mom who's breastfeeding. So there's no other way around it. There's other ways you can support, but this one I guess will be more noticeable if, you know, I can pick up the slack with Barrett. I know his routine, that sort of thing. So,
How are you feeling compared to 2 years ago?
I'm naturally relaxed person. I think you did the reading, and I know that was a lot of pressure for you. I did my like the dad books like when you're expecting are like little dinky little books, so they're easy reads. So I read a few of those, and you know I felt ready, but I was just prepared to like, okay, let's tackle it as we go, and then I had you as the expert to refer to. So thank you for that. I probably took that for granted one too many times, but I'm feeling excited. I already mentioned my brother, how close we are. My whole thing about this 2-year age difference, full disclosure here, you number one podcast listeners, I was pushing for this age difference, or at least somewhere around there. I'm 3 years younger than my brother Vish, so while we were so close, I always thought about how cool it would have been if we were just, instead of 3 grades apart, 2 grades apart. Here in Ohio where we went to school, I would have gotten 3 extra years in school with him by being 2 years apart. So I'm really excited for Barrett and his younger sibling to be 2 years. They'll be almost 2 years to the date, so they'll be 2 grades apart, and get to go to school, be in the same school for a good chunk of their time from kindergarten to their senior year of high school. So yeah, other than that, I do feel relaxed. Everything we said, you know, second time around, everything doesn't seem as like dire and a big deal. And
A little less scary.
we dealt with every set of parents, or if you're a single parent out there, you deal with little wrenches that get thrown in. You know, Barrett was jaundiced for a little while, so we dealt with that. Now that we have that under our belt, it feels like we know how to recognize things, that sort.
Yeah.
You know, the diapers aren't as daunting, you know, the late nights, the routines, all that stuff. So I'm excited more than anything. But obviously check back, like you said, in February.
Check on us in February.
Yeah, we might be zombie walking here. So that does it for Yeah Fam or Not. Not too many Yeah Fams or not, but kind of like a fairly quick rapid fire there.
Yeah.
Okay, now it is time for number one podcast listeners' favorite section. You played yourself. Let's hit that intro, baby.
I'm petty as hell. And I'm super petty.
Here we
Petty Le Pew.
go.
Okay, you number one podcast listeners, it is time for You Played Yourself. So, keeping with the theme, it's going to be no sports. So, the You Played Yourselves fit with the theme. My first You Played Yourself is those of you out there having whoops babies and bragging about it. I think y'all can read the room better than that. You know, maybe you're blissfully unaware, but let me first say that you can and should always share your good news. But you extra fertile folks out here, maybe less about the story, depending on who you're sharing it to. Please note that there's literally for those of you unaware, there's literally a 48-hour window in a whole month, that is prime time to conceive a baby. But imagine telling someone who has been struggling, and they don't always share it with you, so that's why I say be weary. You could be sharing it to someone who's been struggling secretly. Imagine telling someone who's been struggling that you didn't even mean to conceive a baby. Let's just check that and maybe just share your good news as good news and leave it at that. You agree with that?
I agree with that.
Okay. I hope some of you out there are nodding your heads. So, yeah, extra fertile people, just check yourselves.
From the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Also, I said this on our last episode we did like this a couple years ago, but I thought it was important with all the disclaimers we have. It's never outdated. I wanted to take this opportunity. We wanted to take this opportunity once and for all for the people to know out there. Stop asking women, men, couples when they're having children. You do not know their situation, what they've been through to that point. It's not always that simple, fam. People really go through it. Not just miscarriages like we outlined before. Their fertility issues, having to do things like IVF. Especially IVF is a crazy experience. It's a taxing process for couples. They spend a lot of money, time, emotional investment. There's shots that the women who are wanting to carry have to take. And you're not even guaranteed a successful try. And they're dropping their own money because a lot of it's not covered by insurances. So imagine asking a couple why they don't have kids yet after going through, hypothetically, if they've been going through IVF or even just trying for a really long time. Mm-hmm. So, and even aside from that, if someone's had a situation or not, even beyond that, it ain't your fucking business unless they offer that information.
Petty alert.
You might mean well, but
Petty
just
alert.
don't do it. Yeah. Don't play yourself. Do you have one? Do you have a You Played Yourself for us, for the number one podcast listener out here? This is time to get something off your chest here.
Those were two heavy ones. Can I do a funny one?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay. So people that talk about and plan for how expensive diapers are with babies. Okay, yeah, diapers are expensive.
Yeah.
Sure, give them to,
do a diaper party, by the way. Yeah.
Yes, hands down, do a diaper party.
Yeah.
But then maybe also like throw in like a fruit fund for when they start eating.
Yeah, be prepared. Be prepared, you parents out there.
Yeah, when babies start eating food, their love for fruit, especially our child, berries specifically,
we should add a disclaimer here.
Hardcore.
If you're listening to this out loud, you have kids at home.
Oh, yeah.
Please turn the volume down or put your headphones in before we say the B word here.
Right.
Okay, ready? Pause it. Okay. So now go, babe.
No, go. Should I spell it? Berries?
Yes. Yeah.
That's how we talk in our household on a daily basis.
Yeah. So, yeah. Berries.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, continue.
Okay. So the word berries. Yeah. So that's the You Played Yourself. The true cost of having a baby is all the fruit that you're going to be stocking your fridge with constantly.
Oh, yeah. We go literally every week. And he goes through it, and he looks forward to it every single meal and asks for it.
Yeah.
That's a great one, actually. And I got one last one. You Played Yourself goes to time.
Who?
I will say, I think you probably agree with this. Life moving at warp speed after having a kid truly is real. It feels like we just brought Barrett home, and now he's got this personality. He's learning new words, phrases daily. He's moving around. You Played Yourself goes to time in general. So kind of a playful one, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So, babe, this is new to you. Last episode, I debuted a brand new category, and it seemed to be received well from number one podcast listeners, so we're going to keep it rolling. So this one is called Am I Hatin'? And basically, we say statements that are most likely clearly hatin', but since this is a safe space to talk spicy, you say them anyway, okay? So I'll go first, and then you can give me one. Am I hating? All right, babe. Am I hating if I say, how are y'all affording all these trips? Also, can I borrow some money? Am I hating? I might be hating, but how are you guys doing this?
I know. Everyone is going to Italy. That's what I was just saying to someone a few weeks ago. I said, what has happened all of a sudden that anytime I go on social media, there's a new person in Italy? Yeah. And it's not even like on honeymoons. Like people are just going.
Yeah. You just willy-nilly going.
Go.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I borrow some money? Let me just see it for a second. You need to go on your third or fourth trip of the year. Just throw some this way.
Okay.
Okay. You got one?
I think I get it.
Okay.
All right. Am I hating if I say...
Hating, babe.
Hating.
Hating. Okay. Go ahead.
If I say that I just don't understand putting so much time and money into beauty routines and procedures and things.
I don't think you're hating.
But like in the world of TikTok and things nowadays, like it feels like
we're definitely hating on TikTok in this house, by the way. But anyway. It
just feels like every person has such in-depth, daily routines.
Yeah.
And they go places. It's not even just like in your own house. Like they go and get stuff
they're going
done.
to like borderline doctor's offices.
Right. Like how do you have the time and the money for that?
Yeah.
/ do you need it? Like really, do we need it?
No, I mean,
don't think anyone really needs
anyone
it.
that we've heard of that's done it, I promise you out there, you don't need it. You guys are beautiful out there, so I don't think you need it. And none of those procedures are making that so.
Right. And here's if I'm making it a big general like feminist statement out of it, which I shouldn't be because it's just a
I dig
statement.
it.
But like
we are feminists here. Go.
If we all pulled back, then there'd be less to compare to, right?
Yes, that is a nice little preview for later. Nice, I like that. You are a really good host here. Yes, I agree. That is a great point. I never even thought about that. You just think of that?
I did.
Yeah. I hope it's to make yourself feel good, but right. I hope you out there know that your partner probably doesn't care, and you don't need it.
Yeah.
So if you're over there thinking about spending your money, we gave you an idea earlier.
Go on a trip. Okay.
No, not a trip.
No.
Have someone clean your house.
Oh, there you go.
It costs way less, and it saves you a ton of time, and you'll be way more relaxed.
Yeah.
That is a great use of money. So I agree with you. I don't think you're hating. But again, this is a safe space.
I'm kind of hating.
You're kind of hating. But I think I sent you a video one time where I was floored. It was like a straight couple, and the girlfriend or the wife or whatever is asking the husband like to guess the price of items. They're in like this beauty store.
Yeah.
They're in a beauty store, and he was like guessing reasonable prices, and as he heard the prices, he was adjusting his guesses, and they were still like 3 times as much. And I couldn't believe it either. So I asked you, I was like, is this how much things cost? You're like, yeah, but I don't shop in those. So I was like, never been more proud in my life. You don't need it, babe. I've told you, I hope you know that I feel that way. I tell you that all the time. I'm glad you don't spend money on that stuff because it's different. I get it out there if you're doing it for yourself, but just know you don't need it. Okay. That was a great Am I Hating? You number one podcast listeners, now it's time for Who You Got and What You Feeling. I'm not going to bother to recap last episode's Who You Got. It's kind of a long-term one anyway, and this has not been this hasn't been a sports episode, so we'll recap that next episode. For this episode, I have a few Who You Gots for you. So, what is something you'll do different with Kid 2 versus Kid 1?
Well, I kind of mentioned a little bit earlier about wanting to be more flexible. So I think that maybe I'll say like being able to bring baby number 2 like out and about more often, like being more comfortable even just like running errands and things like that. It took me a while to be okay with taking Barrett with me to do stuff like that. So maybe that's what I'd like to do differently with Kid 2.
I like that one. Yeah, that'd kind of be my answer too. I think you're so naturally fearful with Kid 1 that they can handle a little bit more. I think here's a good one. Something we'll do different is we've been working on this lately, but really start off by saving time for ourselves. Mm-hmm. And also, I'll be honest with you, number one podcast listeners, there's an important lesson I learned, and I knew this going in, but you can't help it sometimes. Just a fair warning to you out there. Remember that you and your significant other, if you're fortunate enough to have a partner that you're going through parenthood with, are on the same team. It is sometimes hard to remember that, but just do your best. There are moments where you slip up and you want to blame the other person for what's going on. Just know that they have the best intentions, and I knew that, but there are moments I slipped up, obviously, where I would think, I can't get the baby to stop crying, but you can, and you tend to like take it out on the other person, when in reality the main purpose is that we got the baby to stop crying, for example. So that's something I'll know from the start and be more comfortable with. I think another thing that'll help with that is like we'll now have 2 kids, so if I can't succeed with one, I'll try the other, and vice versa, we'll switch. So making sure we reserve some time for just us, and then also remembering that lesson that I knew, but maybe reminding myself before it gets to the point where I have to take a step back.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a little fun one.
Yeah.
What are a couple of items that are must-have for parents-to-be? It's our chance to give a little advice here. What are some things we haven't been able to live without for our son Barrett? I'll go first, and I'll let you go. How about that?
Sure.
I say, and obviously we agree with this, the sound machine. We have gifted portable sound machines to any friends having kids, because I think most of them have missed it on their baby shower registry. So we always stick with the registry, but we add on our little portable sound machine because it's very clutch when you're on the go. Yeah. But sound machine, very important.
That's why you can yell during your podcast and Barrett can still sleep.
Exactly. Barrett's used to noise. Between me and the dog, he's used to it.
Invest in a slumber pod. If you ever plan on leaving your house at all, invest in a slumber pod. It's this crazy thing. I wish we invented it. We would be...
Yeah, it's one of those any parents probably like, oh, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah. It's literally like a blackout tent that you put over your portable crib. So
pack and play.
Yeah. So no matter where you are, you can create a like dark, quiet sleep environment for your kids. So if you're room sharing on a trip, or if you're taking them somewhere where there's not going to be like windows or shades or curtains, whatever, like you can
hotel, Airbnb, whatever.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Slumber pod. We were fortunate enough to have our friend let us borrow it for our first trip, and you and I talked. We're like, we don't want to play the borrow game. Like, let's get the most use out of this. Let's pay for it now. It's not cheap. It's not like crazy expensive either, but it's worth the investment. For sure. And it allows you, like, for example, let's say you're in a hotel room with a baby. You can put them down to bed. You zip up the slumber pod. Yeah. By the way, slumber pod, throw a sponsor our way. Yeah. No free ads. But basically, you can zip it up, and you could still have the lights on in the hotel room and do your TV, thing. Because you put a sound machine inside. Right. There's a pouch for the monitor, so you can see what's going on in there. They have a slot for a fan, so you can get air movement. It's perfect. So I would say if you're in between it, get it earlier so you get more uses out of it. It's a no-brainer. It's also nice to have. If you have friends or family with babies that come over, you can create a little room within a room if someone's in a bind and needs to put their baby down to sleep. Yeah. So it's a nice thing to have. Mm-hmm. And you get really quick at assembling it. The first few times it takes a little bit, but...
You're a pro now.
Yeah. We're not outdoors people, so I didn't really have experience with tents. So this is kind of my first go at it. What are you feeling lately? It doesn't have to be kid related. It can be anything, but what are you feeling lately, babe?
Well, just like currently, because this is what I'm living, I'm feeling summer days, summertime, feeling it. It's been so nice. Like, it's been fun this summer with the age Barrett's at. He's a year and a half, so you know he's walking, he's talking, is exploring the world. So love taking him to the zoo and to different parks and to the library, and just having slow days together, and staying in our pajamas until 11 a.m. So I'm feeling summertime. It's been really nice. That's for sure.
It's really cool that Barrett, new baby, will be able to spend that quality time with you, babe, every summer. It's a nice bonus. By the way, let's pay our teachers out there, but it's...
we do make the most of our summertime. At least we try.
They do. They deserve to, by the way. They deserve to be paid more, so don't get it twisted, like the summer's off, all that stuff. But that is nice that they'll always have that.
Yeah.
I got a couple... before, like, relating it back to Barrett. First, you and I have flew through The Bear.
Oh gosh, I was so happy we finally got access to Hulu.
Yes, shout out to Vish.
Shout out Vish.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So shout out to him for that.
So good.
It's phenomenal as advertised.
Lived
Beautiful
up to the
show.
hype.
Yep.
Lived up to
Season
the
2 even better than season 1, which is
Craziness.
rare in TV shows.
Yeah.
So Roche was right about that in their last episode. In that time, we fully caught up.
2 up? Yeah. 2 seasons.
Another one, Travis Scott's new album Utopia came out, is fantastic. I was fully prepared for a letdown after a great Astroworld project 4 or 5 years ago, but it's phenomenal. I've listened to it multiple times, and it's gotten better with each listen, so that's great. And then finally, circling it back to the theme of this episode, what I'm feeling is seeing our son Barrett and dog Teddy bonding a lot lately.
Bye-bye, Teddy.
Yeah, he says bye-bye to Teddy. He narrates petting him by saying pat, 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 and says love you to him. He's so excited to see Teddy every time he gets home. That's really cool. I didn't have that growing up. You had dogs growing up, but I think it's gonna make him, it has made him comfortable around dogs. And it's beautiful to see. You know, Teddy's our first baby, so to speak, air quotes. We love that dog, and it's so cool to see Barrett love him too. Now Teddy plays hard to get sometimes, but we know that Teddy loves Barrett. He's very protective of him, which is awesome to see. Teddy's always exhausted on those days where it's just Steph and Barrett at home. Like if I'm in the office or out and about, Teddy's on duty protecting the two of them, and we love that about him. But
yeah,
you know,
he runs in front of the stairs anytime Barrett starts walking towards him.
Yeah, and that is such a sweet thing that we've noticed. So
Dog
for
and
all
baby,
of his
it's a
all
cool
his quirks,
combo.
yeah, it's for all our dog's quirks. He is quite the protective dog to the very, very valuable two people in this house to me. So I can't hate on it too much, even when he barks his face off at delivery drivers and things like that. But yeah, that's what I'm feeling lately.
Love it.
Okay. You number one podcast listeners, you know how we like to wrap up each episode. It is time for Too Much Sense. Let's hit that intro. All right, you number one podcast listeners. Steph had a nice segue earlier, so I wanted to pay that off about comparison when you were talking about the am I hating part. Too Much Sense for this episode is that quote that you hear a lot, comparison is the thief of joy. I think it is especially valuable to this episode right now because I think too often we get caught up in what other people are doing with their lives that we don't enjoy all the good that we have in our own. Now, obviously, if you're struggling with pregnancy issues currently, it's really hard to get out of this headspace of like comparing to others. Like we said, we can relate. You are happy for other people, but why can't that be me? You know, I said that earlier in our intro part of this episode. But this comparison is the thief of joy, especially rings true to those out there who may have thought they'd have a child by now, or maybe you thought you'd be further along in your love life. I just think it's an important reminder to you that there's no one journey that's better than another. You don't have a significant other or kid yet. Chances are a lot of you are crushing it in your career or have a ton of letters after your name by now. Or even if none of that, your professional world, none of that, or maybe you're just a damn good friend and a damn good relative to your family members. Your own journey is good, not because it compares well to another's. It's good because it's fucking good. So don't compare your journey to anybody else's. Give yourself grace and positivity for any progress you make. Even if you just worked on yourself, that's a beautiful thing, because the universe will deliver. I do believe that. Good things happen to good people. Sometimes it just takes a while to get there. So don't compare your situation or your life to anybody else's. That's my Too Much Sense for this week.
I love that. It's awesome.
Yeah, we had to remind ourselves of that. So hopefully this serves as a nice reminder for someone out there. Anyway, that wraps up this very special edition of the number one podcast in your headphones, Prem Brulee. I've been your host, Premal, soon to be replaced by my co-host, my wife, love of my life, mother of 2 children to be. I love you, babe. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Soon to be my replacement. Some of you wish she was.
It'd be a way different podcast.
Yeah, it would be.
A lot less cuss words.
A lot less cuss words.
And
You know your sports, but you know, you got me, so you're usually asleep by now. So you number one podcast listeners, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, review, tell a friend to tell a friend. Please encourage those people out there that aren't even sports fans. Maybe send them this episode. Proof that we do mix in our non-sports episodes. And my wife can still talk sports. Don't get me wrong here. It's not just because of that, but we wanted to have a little platform to share our good news. So hopefully you all enjoyed the content. Babe, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Hopefully I didn't bore anyone.
I don't think you could do that. So, you number one podcast listeners, I've been your host, Premal Bot, with my wife, my co-host, Stephanie Bot, and we'll talk to you on the next edition.